Raymond, my son, has a plane. It's a Vera Ease plane, small plane. So when the first time he brought me to his plane, the plane has no starter. He has to go out of the plane and he has to crank the plane, crank the propellers. And of course, it got kind of weird. So I asked him one day, what happens if the plane stops when you're flying? He says, don't worry about it, that the plane will glide, so no problem. But I was reminded about the cranking effort. It also made me remember that in the old days, the Ford companies, the early cars, they still have this cranking. They crank it so that the engine will run. Microlearning is somewhat similar to that because it is a one motion action. It is a practical thing to do that they can get the engine working. Many of our content and our learning design, you don't crank, you have to go through a very long process. It's always dependent on battery system. The batteries are the long lessons, the programs, etc. and the like. Well, what our learning programs need from a micro-learning point of view is those one crank start. Meaning to say that if there is 10 sections of your lessons or there is 10 steps of the procedures, your learner must be able to go into step number 8 without any inhibition or any fear or any stumbling blocks, to go in and crank it and get the results that he or she would want. Think about it. E-learning and moving into micro-learning is a cranking motion.